got the response after the frustrating game at Mansfield? Have you got the response out of the players in training you were hoping for?
I think it was more so the players gaining the experience. Mansfield are an aggressive team. We watched 6 or 7 key incidents since we started the season where it's been malicious tackles. There was one tackle which led to an elbow, which was 7 stitches in Nathan Smith's eye, which I think was set up. But the players are going to have to deal with that, and they're going to have to deal with that quick. And we all sat down together today on how we deal with it, and we'll learn from that.
Yeah, and how are the squad in terms of injury-wise and all that kind of thing? Are they looking good for the weekend?
Yeah, I think, as you can imagine, if I was a player coming in today, we're in good spirits with Morecambe on Saturday, and then we travel to Everton away. So all of them are going to want to play in these next 2 games, and it's exciting times at the moment for the football club.
Yeah, it keeps them on their toes, I suppose, isn't it? For the league games, when they've got such a sort of a carrot, if you want, everyone will want to be involved in that Everton game.
I think it's just a good game with, to take your team to a Premier League club. It sometimes is what dreams are made of, and they've all got an opportunity to do that. Our staff, our board, the press, it's a good place to go to go and work.
Yeah, you've still got that option of going into the loan market. Is that something you're still continuing to explore?
Yeah, we're always looking at that, I think, but some of the better ones are close to the first team, and with it being window to window now, they want to leave those decisions as late as possible, making sure that they don't miss out on anything with their own squad. So there are 1 or 2 that we've spoken to, and we're still waiting.
Yeah, I guess it's difficult at any stage of the season to find players that are better than what you've already got, isn't it? That's the key, I suppose.
I think there's always players out there which are available, but it's just we've got to such a good start, and all the players are giving everything that they've got. I don't want to change too much, and the players, unfortunately, we lost the game on Tuesday, but that happens. This is a strong group. I could tell on the bus on the way home they suffered a disappointment longer than what other teams that I've had, which is a good sign, so they know it hurts them. And we regroup, we're strong, we're focused, and we keep going, and we'll look forward to the next 2 games, which is Morecambe and Everton.
Yeah, and Morecambe next up. I mean, that's not going to be an easy game either, is it? I mean, they've had a good result midweek. They've beaten Portsmouth, they've beaten Blackpool as well, so they're sort of going to be a tricky customer, if you like.
I keep saying it every week, every game sets its own challenges. I did explain the challenge that lie ahead on Tuesday, and I was absolutely spot on what we were up against. And we go to Morecambe, who have had good results, but we got to make sure we continue our performances. And after the first game the supporters had seen at home, I'm looking to provide them with the same entertainment, and it's important the lads regroup and we get that performance.
Yeah, because the fans, obviously, they come here, they're always going to be here, aren't they? It's important for you guys to have a good record here.
Well, all the fans that have travelled and certainly watched us home against Notts County, I think they were very proud of their team, and I've been proud of the team, and I've been proud of the football club as to where it's got in such a short space of time. And there's a lot of positives that surround this football club, and the players have got to lead by example, and we're looking for a reaction on Saturday.
Yeah, what sort of game are you expecting from Morecambe?
They're good. They got a couple of players that I know quite well. Ellison can be quite aggressive and experienced and good in his play. They got Rose, who used to play here. He's got good left foot, good delivery from set plays. He's good on the ball, and he's someone that I know really well and that I played with. So they've got a good group of players there, and they're a little bit like us. He's had to work within a budget, and he's got players that are looking to get back up the ladder again, and we'll be looking forward to the game.
Yeah, I want to ask you about Shane Duffy, a former player here, of course, at Yeovil Town. Not had a great start to the season. He had 2 own goals last night. He was also sent off. He had another own goal. Have you seen starts like that from many players before in the past?
I think Shane Duffy's an interesting example. I mean, it's not... again, what way could you look at it? He's just come out of the Euros, so he's a top player. Players make mistakes, and if I played in the Euros, I'd be very proud of that. So he's got a lot going for him, Shane, and unfortunately he always seems to put his body on the line, and when you've got to defend in the 6-yard box, you always seem to be the last one that ends up resulting in an error. So unfortunately it's been an own goal on 1 or 2 occasions, but I think he'll be proud of the way he conducted himself in the Euros, and that's something that you know, when you look at what he's done for us at this football club, he's a fantastic player, and he'll get over that.
Yeah, and looking ahead to Everton game, how much on a personal level are you looking forward to that?
I think for me it's big only because I know the staff up there. They helped us with Liam Walsh. I think Liam Walsh has been a fantastic player. I know he's been training with the first team, so it'll be interesting to see if he's involved against us. And for me it's just to take my team to a Premier League ground and test themselves against Premier League opposition, against a top manager. And from the moment I arrive until the experience that I'll get after to speaking to the manager is something that I'm going to relish, and make sure I gain every information that I can from him, and make sure we go there to look to get the result.
Yeah, do you have to change your approach when you're going to a place like Goodison Park?
I think you have to. I think you have to block areas that normally you don't block, because they've got threats and they've got good threats, and you have to respect their Premier League players. Whether you can be so bold and brave as what you can do in a League 2 game, it's that risk and reward, because when they get chances, they hurt you. But we'll be going there in real good spirits, and it's certainly an opportunity the players deserve.
Yeah, and the players will certainly be looking forward to it, won't they?
Yeah, definitely, they will look forward to it, very much so.
Yeah, Ronald Koeman, a word on him. I mean, he's had a good career, obviously, in management with Southampton, now moving to Everton. I mean, it's going to be good for you to pit your wits against him.
I think since he's come into English football, he's certainly marked his territory. And to do what he done at Southampton and now he's at Everton, just shows he's got a class above the rest, and he deserves that move, and I'm sure he'll be successful at Everton.
Yeah, a little bit tinged with sadness from your point of view in some ways that it's not Roberto still in charge there?
No, not really. I mean, he's gone on to be an international manager now, so he's moved on to a different job role, and I'm sure he'll cherish that, and he'll do very well, and he's someone that I admire, and I feel he'll get to the top.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Liam Walsh there just finally. Do you expect him to maybe be involved in the squad?
All I know is he's training with the first team, so whether he's plays a part or whether he's involved, I think a lot will be dictated. They got West Brom Saturday, and I think depending on how the result goes there, and whether Balassi, who obviously they've signed now, whether he plays or not, it just gives him a chance to be able to see the players he's got, and it's only their second home game, which is good for us.
Yeah, good luck, Darren. Thank you very much.
No problems.
Lots of excitement about the Everton match in terms of tickets. We're having people queuing in all hours of the night to try and get one.
Yeah, there are. I think they just wanted the best seats in the house, so yeah, they're looking forward to the game as well as what I am. So I think it is exciting, but the players certainly deserved it. We watched like a few of the highlights from the Walsall game, and with Matty Dolan's goal, and sometimes it's easily to forget on how we actually got this opportunity, and the boys deserve the credit that they deserve, and they should enjoy it as well.
I mean, it shows that we should be proud of the club and we should support the club when occasions like this come along.
Yeah, it is. I've been very proud of the club. I've had some of my best moments in the cup history, and it never surprises you at a club like Yeovil. They always seem to have a real good recognition, to be able to have good cup runs, and it's certainly, you know, a pleasure for me to have a good cup run. Obviously the financial side of it as well, it's good, and hopefully there'll be a good crowd.
Thank you.
Do you think it marks the historical moment of the club? You talk about the Liverpool game in the FA Cup, Manchester United in the FA Cup, and this Everton game's right up there.
I think before the draw come out, we was all hoping for a Premier League tie, and I don't think you can ask for much more when you actually analyse it and think, well, we played Walsall away, and now we've got an opportunity to play Everton away at Goodison, and when you look at the ground, it's quite tight, and I'm sure there'll be an unbelievable atmosphere there, and the Yeovil fans will be travelling, and they travel in force within their cup games, and I know the fans believe that we can win, so I'm just making sure that the players can put on a real good show and make sure they keep believing that we can go there and get a result.
And are your away travel preparations any different for a big game like this? Do you go up a bit earlier? Do you do anything different, or will it be the same?
I just think we got a nicer hotel. We definitely got a nicer hotel, and the preparations I'm looking forward to. We travel up on the Monday, but also I have to be aware that we've got a big game on Saturday, and they know if they don't perform on Saturday, it makes the selection process difficult for Tuesday, because I've got nearly the whole squad back now.
Does that give the players extra incentive on Saturday? Obviously they want to win because they want to win and be on the back of a defeat, but in the back of their mind are they thinking, I want to be there for the Everton game as well?
If it was me, I would have to say yes, because when you got to keep your performance levels consistently well, and everyone's got to earn their selection by merit, and it's important that they do that going into this Everton game, because if we get a poor performance, there's players now that are available for selection that are waiting for their opportunity, and they've got to make sure that they don't give their shirt to anyone else, because so far up until Tuesday the performance levels have been very high throughout the whole of pre-season, and it's been consistent, and I want them to keep that going.
And those lads that picked up knocks on Tuesday, will they get that opportunity the weekend? Nathan Smith, Ryan Dixon, and I know Liam Shepherd was maybe close as well.
Yeah, I think all of them at the moment, there's nothing to suggest that they won't be available, which is good. I have explained to them teams are going to be able to use that physical presence against us, because we have got young players, and they're going to see that as a sign of weakness, and you have to be strong enough to sustain that, and these tackles will come and they're not going to go away, and you have to be almost expect it. And we had a good long chat about that today, and it's something that we'll be working on.
And in some respects then, was that getting that sort of bloody nose on Tuesday, was it a good thing for some of the younger players?
I think it was, because as I said to all of my the press that I've been doing so far since pre-season, I haven't had an opportunity where I've said to the lads, look, it's not, I've had to direct them in a different direction, because they've 9 times out of 10 they've driven the whole team together, and they've done it fantastically well. And if there was ever an opportunity, I thought it would have been Walsall away, but they've had good results and they've done really well. But unfortunately, that physical game that we had to deal with, and the pattern changed, because once they get a man sent off, then they just get men behind the ball, and it's a little bit harder to break down. It shouldn't be, but it is for whatever reason. They have to make sure that they learn from that, and I think a lot of the players have learned from that game on Tuesday, and they will take that information on board.